Hello and welcome to Queendom TV. Today I'm going to be talking about Trisha Paytas because Trisha Paytas is somebody who I have kind of loosely followed on YouTube for a long time, which might shock a lot of people based on, my beliefs, but, I have my reasons, and if you want to know, you can ask me, and I might even tell you in the comment section down below. But anyway, I've been following her for a while, and recently I saw something that happened with her that was kind of shocking. Apparently she'd been taking a bit of a step back, from trying to get involved in drama, and I do think this Moses guy she's with, from what I've seen, seems like he's better for her. I'm not sure if he completely is, but maybe he just is taking her for who she is, at what she needs, and if that's what she needs, then fair enough. But anyway, there was a bit of a backlash because basically they remade the whole kind of Beetlejuice dinner kind of table and decorations and everything, and people weren't happy because they used real rabbit skin for the chairs, or he rather did it because he was the one who made it for her. And the thing that kind of stuck out for a lot of people was the fact that her biggest fan, who was also allegedly invited to their wedding, was one of the people who came out and said, okay, no, this is too far, this is not okay. And people had a lot to say about it. Some people were kind of saying, well, she's always changing things around, so was it really worth it? It was just going to kill all of those rabbits just to be a part of a, something that's going to last like a couple of weeks, or lots of different perspectives. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is for a few reasons. I think the thing that stuck out to me, the thing is, and I don't know why, but I feel like I always have an inkling to have a sense of sympathy for Trisha. That's the thing. And it's really weird because a lot of people really think she's very toxic. And in a lot of ways, I can see why people say that, because there are things that she does that are actually toxic. I'm not saying that they're not. But I do personally think that she genuinely usually has very good intentions. And what I feel like is what kind of happened with Trisha and her fan, and it kind of made me realize why maybe she has so many issues, is that her fan, after making a video saying she couldn't be cool with all of this or whatever it was, she proceeded to then, kind of talk more bad things about Trisha, and how Trisha hadn't responded to some of her messages, and how Trisha had been doing this, and just kind of making the picture of Trisha worse and worse and worse. And the reason why I didn't like it is because there's somebody, again, like I said, who loosely follows Trisha, but kind of is sympathetic towards her. I saw that in one of her videos, she talked about, there was an issue she had, I think, with Nick Avocado, because he again said that she was not reading his messages and stuff like that, or she would read them and not reply, which is what the biggest fan was also kind of saying she was doing. And she talked about how sometimes she does that because she's overwhelmed with her mental health. And I think Trisha Paytas is one of those people that proves that people are happy. And I saw a quote about this, and it was so true. It's like, everybody wants to talk about mental health and support mental health until you show a symptom. And I kind of feel like that. And I kind of feel like even the way her fan was ready to kind of talk about her. I mean, if it was me, and it was somebody, I would, for me, even just the Trisha Paytas, based on what I know, I wouldn't want to add to the drama. I wouldn't even want to say more about her. I might, if the biggest fan felt she had to speak out about the animal thing because it meant something to her, okay. But what you didn't need to do was, on top of that, now start to continue to derail her as a person, because she started to talk about kind of how, and now she never even technically got invited to the wedding, and now she doesn't think she's getting invited to the wedding, and the people are like, oh wow, did she not even tell you the date of when it's going to be? And I was thinking, first of all, she did invite her in the video, so that is a big way of saying to people that, like, look, I'm holding myself accountable. Trisha opened the door for the fan to say that she could, if she didn't get an invite, that she wasn't coming. So that's one thing. Trisha knew she was doing that. Number two, let's not forget the fact that this is a celebrity wedding, whichever way you want to look at it, or like an influencer wedding or a well-known person wedding. So do you think that Trisha wants to be giving out the details? Do you think she's even told a lot of her friends even now where her and when her wedding is going to be? Because a lot of people, they don't want to have their wedding crashed. A lot of well-known people, they have to go way, way, way out of their way to make sure that nobody knows, because not everybody wants to be like Kim Kardashian and all of those guys, having these big, massive weddings where everyone's tuning in. Not everybody wants to do that. Some people, they want to have a genuine nice wedding, and I think that's it's sad that people have not considered that Trisha might be feeling that way. What if she just wanted to have a genuine nice wedding? Maybe she wasn't sure. Maybe she wasn't sure if it was a good idea, which I can understand why she wouldn't be sure if it's a good idea, because people are quick to just turn on her, as her biggest fan is doing, which is ironic. I'm even calling her the biggest fan. So maybe she just wanted to wait till the last minute. And so for people to hop in and be like, oh my gosh, no wonder, like, she should have told you, like, maybe it's good that she didn't, because imagine she did tell you and you were ready to flip like this, and you had the information and you just blurted the information and she'd already put in however much money into booking her wedding, you know? And I think people are very quick to look at things from one side and not from the other. I'm looking at things from both sides, and I'm saying to the fan, I think if the fan felt she needed, the biggest fan felt that she needed to, this was too much for her with Trisha and she could no longer support that kind of behavior, fair enough. In life, we're going to encounter people and things, and we may even lose relationships based on the fact we realize that we don't have the same values. And I have no issue with that at all. What I do have the issue with is now taking it a step further to go and say all these things about Trisha and make her look negative. And even when some of the things that you're talking about, she's kind of openly spoken up about. She's spoken up about people even breaking into her house. She's had to go through journeys, you know, of knowing how to protect herself. So I think for us to be so quick to assume that she's just being, you know, the worst version of what she could be being is a bit sad as well for us as people, as well. So, and I want to talk about this biggest fan thing, and this is where biggest fan thing is very interesting. This term, the fact that this woman was considered Trisha's biggest fan, and I think she'd even adopted the surname Paytas as if to be like Trisha Paytas, right? And the thing about it was, I was thinking is, it's interesting, isn't it, how much we only support people when they do what we want. You know, and I think there's something to be said about this connection between a celebrity or an influencer and the fan, because they both can have different effects on each other. You know, you can only support somebody when they believe what you want them to believe, and that's why a lot of celebrities have to change things because the fan base turns on them. Or it can also happen the other way, where the celebrity can kind of convince you and get what they want kind of out of you kind of thing, and maybe convince you with scams and things. So there's kind of two sides to it, you know. And I think this biggest fan thing, it kind of showed to me that the fan for me was never really in it for Trisha, for who Trisha is as a person, and just being a fan of her however she comes. And I think that's the problem in life. The reason why I can say that I have a sympathy for Trisha is because I like her as a person, actually. Like, as the core of her, like what I think she really wants in life, and based on what she's been through, because she's been through a lot. And people underestimate how much she's been through because she makes light about a lot of it. But if you actually think about it, she's been through so much, you know. And so for me, I'm happy to just see that she's in a stable relationship. I'm happy to see that she's been going to therapy and she's been consistently doing that. She's been eating a lot better than she was in the past. She's not really having as many of the things that she was having before. She still has some things, you know, but she spoke up even about, you know, Shane. She spoke up about him. She spoke up about, what's the other guy? I'm seeing him in my mind. David Dobrik. She spoke up about those things. So I'm not saying everything she does is great. I'm not saying I even agree with most of the things she does. I'm just saying that if you're somebody that was invested in her as a person, I think you would have just been able to be like, or just appreciated her as a person. It doesn't have to be a massively deep thing. Just any bit of real respect, I guess. You would not need to go and start saying all this stuff. Because you know what? One of the things I think is so hard about living in this day and age, for a lot of people, and especially for a lot of celebrities who I don't think could have ever known this is what it was going to be, is that we live now in a place where people are going to cut you off if they don't agree with what you believe in or what you're doing, and they're just that quick to cut you off. And I think that's the scary thing, that at the end of the day, and I can understand why that probably messes with Trisha, because she's probably like, well, sometimes I don't even know if I want to have fans because they're going to just turn on me, you know, whenever it suits them. And I think we need to start being more people that just care about people and don't expect things to be so perfect, because I think it's putting a lot of people off even saying things that would be beneficial, just because people want to cancel you or something because you didn't see eye to eye. Maybe all that it needed for Trisha, she didn't need to be cancelled. Maybe if somebody had just spoken to her, like the fan had just said, hey Trisha, you know, by the way, I just wanted to talk to you about the rabbit thing. I think it was a bit far to go that far. That would be a different conversation, wouldn't it? You know, it would give Trisha the opportunity to show whether she's just this problematic person who doesn't care, or if she's just trying to if she's somebody who made a mistake, who's a human being that probably would have leveled with her and talked to her normally, you know? And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying anything against the fan, and I'm not saying you should go and, you know, cancel the fan. I'm just saying that, you know, I think you've got to look at things from both sides as well, you know? And so, yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. So let me know what you guys think, even just what you think about Trisha. I won't be offended if you don't like her. She's definitely not everybody's cup of tea. But we don't have to be everybody's cup of tea to respect each other. And so I'd still love to hear what you have to say. And also don't forget to like the video if you've liked it, and also subscribe if you're feeling the vibe and you want to join the tribe. I've got so many different videos out on my channel with similar kinds of topics, maybe not people, but similar kinds of concepts, and also other different videos. So stay tuned, or let me know what else you would like to see in my comment section as well. Other than that, God bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I'll see you in one of my next ones. And yeah. That's all I got to say.